There's a story of a case that we worked involving a 13-year-old girl that was reported as a runaway. As we continued in the investigation, we realized really quickly it wasn't just another runaway. This was an online abduction. What came in is just another runaway. Phone call late at night. Juvenile's missing. Mom and Dad were very concerned. They knew it was really weird for her to call and not answer, and then not answer again. So they start looking through her room, trying to find information, and they find a note saying goodbye. And traditionally, when people have their cell phone on, you get lots of data points. But in this case, we only had about 12 minutes of information, and it was all in the same area that she was last seen. So it's starting to feel pretty hopeless. We're sitting about 12 and a half hours into this and realizing that this is not what it seems. We needed to speak to friends. We're finding out that she'd only been at school for 2 days, and all she could say is, well, she said goodbye. I decided we needed to re-interview Mom and Dad and rule out all the other possibilities. So we're asking, what are they not allowed to do, right? Usually we ask what they're doing, but not what they're not allowed to do. And they brought up an anonymous chatting site that allows people to meet. And that was really sticking out in my mind of, if they were told not to do that, that's probably what they did. We now realize that data is available to us and things were matching up. I could look at one set of records and a timestamp, and I could look at this one and say, there's obviously a connection here. This is somebody important. This was someone who knew the difference of a 12-hour drive, the risks it would take to get caught. Someone who'd actually thought about this and put in work to figure out how to be unnoticed. We were able to start to see this person went to the school, to the store, and we're gathering all this evidence until we were able to get the vehicle information and put a name to it. Through more and more digging, I drew an X and said, we're right here. It's an apartment complex. They set up surveillance and we wait until we see a vehicle roll up matching the description, but there's no girl. Are we right? Has this girl been dropped off? Do we have the right person? And finally, they were able to get enough information to go ahead, knock on the door. After a few more attempts, someone came to the door, halfway closed, and they pushed the door in and found our victim. A lot of just trying to figure out what's this puzzle going to look like when it comes together. We had to go to the unseen over and over again. Because we knew the path, we weren't deterred. We continued following the data, which ultimately led us to a door, protecting that young person. So when they did their interview, they had specific details to hold them accountable and ultimately get a confession of what the plan was, how it came together, and make sure that the juvenile in that case was reunited with their family, but also had a team of care. As a parent, I can't imagine waking up in the middle of the night and my kid's missing and not knowing what to do. And I know I'd go through heaven or hell to bring him back. Why wouldn't I do that for anyone else?